And now it's time to get unmasked. Please welcome your host, Pamela Elaine Nichols and Cheryl A.S. Haley.
It's been a minute, but we are so glad to be back in the space with you. Welcome to UnMasked Real Talk Live 2024. This is a safe place. Ain't nothing changed. This is a safe place where we take off our mask and we get real about topics not often discussed authentically. The topics we unmask support our goal to help you, our viewers, overcome self-limiting beliefs of I don't matter and I am not enough. Our topic today, my goodness, is the secret to calm, courage, and confidence. Now, we know our producer is going to put it up on the screen, but we know some of you came in because you want to know what the secret is. So while it's up on the screen, again, the secret to calm, courage, and confidence. How many of us want that? How many of us want to flow in that? How many of us want to live in that? Well, we're going to let you know what the secret is today. Today's raffle is a download of 24 selfish generosity practices designed and created none other than by my co-laborer in love, my duo coach partner, Pamela Elaine Nichols. When I tell you that those 24 selfish generosity practices are powerful, I already have like a shoe in, so I can't win it. But guess what? I hope one of you win it because it's going to bless your souls. If you are new to the show, we want you to put your name in the chat so we can welcome you. If someone invited you, tell us who that person is so we can personally thank them for sharing the love for this show. Pamela Elaine, I want you to tell us a little bit more about today's topic because people have been sharing, they've been loving, and they can't wait. So tell us.
Yes, well, we're so glad to be back, like in the flush. We've been missing all of you in the live shows. So today's topic is the secret, which really isn't a secret, but the secret to calm, courage, and confidence. Let's start with the quote. When we own calm, courage, and confidence, we give loved ones the best of us instead of the worst of us. So is it possible that one major shift in your life could mean less stress, less fear, less doubt? One major shift. One major shift that could bring inner peace when others around you are freaking out. One shift that could inspire you to pursue your dreams, even if others think it's a waste of time or you're not capable, people who say that stuff. One shift that could give you the boldness to advocate for yourself and set boundaries you keep allowing people to cross. What if one thing holding you back from calm, courage, and confidence is a belief that everyone's well-being is more important than your own? Can I get an amen? You know that person who just said, right. You know that person who just seems to own their power. I want you to think about that for a moment. That person who seems to own their own power. And then when you take a closer look, they aren't faking. They aren't faking it. They really do own their power. And these people are rare. And you're going to be a rare one too. And we love, love, love being around these people because their energy that they give off is just so attractive. And we want what they have. We want calm, we want courage, and we want confidence. Now, some people don't have all three. So we're not talking about the people that don't have all three. Some people are calm, but they ain't got no courage. Some people have confidence, but they ain't got no calm. And I did say ain't. Can you name some of these rare human beings who have all three? Not one, not two, but all three. Guess what they know that most of us don't know? They know the secret. That secret is the key to their calm, courage, and confidence. And that secret is they put themselves first. Their self-care is first. Means that they're better able to serve those they love, their faith, their community, their employers, their employees, they're better able because they put self-care first. Now, I call self-care first selfish generosity. Selfish generosity is the practice of giving to yourself first so you can generously give to others. Cheryl, how about we talk about these rare individuals we admire who possess calm, courage, and confidence? So, who comes to your mind immediately? And this could be someone in your personal, professional, or someone that you know from afar. Could be a well-known, famous person. Well, that would be well known. So, who comes to your mind? And before you answer, what do you think are the sacrifices they had to make to gain calm, courage, and confidence?
Pamela Elaine, when I think about that question, there are several individuals that come to mind, but in particular, a spiritual leader
Mhm.
that I sat under her tutelage. Um, she was a woman of great faith. She's transitioned, but
Mhm.
she's a woman that would, unless you knew her story, she would go through some of the most adverse situations. But when you saw her, the three things that you mentioned, the calm, she had a peace about her that was just, oh my God. I mean, even when I think about her, the confidence, like she walked in this boldness that you just could not even put into words. And I would sit back and I would admire her and I would ask her, how did you get to that place? Because
Mhm.
you remember, you and I've had some conversations, and you've said to me, Cheryl, years ago, you walk around like you have no problems in the world. Do you have any problems? I remember you asking me that. And what I called at the time, just not talking about it or not revealing it, was not a place of calm. It was just
Mhm.
not really sharing or being open about what I was experiencing. So this woman, as I watched her, she began to model for me that something that has become so important is to practice pause moments.
Mhm.
Because something you said is so key, and you know my story because we've been on this journey for a minute, is that what we sometimes call self-care is not self-care. When you talk about the practice of selfless generosity, first of all, it's embracing what it is. And when I think about the description of which I'm familiar with, this woman, Pastor Veronica McCullers, who has transitioned, this woman walked in something that was just like,
Mhm.
get that. And she said, learning to recognize that she mattered
Mhm.
and taking
Mhm.
those moments that when she needed them and doing what she needed to do. And
Yeah.
we wear so many hats and we forget to do that.
Mhm.
So she's somebody that comes to mind. And I mean, powerful, powerful woman who walked in those three components that we talked about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think about the person that comes to my mind immediately is Nelson Mandela,
Mm,
someone who definitely walked in calm,
mhm, mhm.
courage, and confidence,
Yeah,
and had to do some really difficult things
yeah.
that most of us couldn't really take on. And then I think about another person. So I'm gonna go from the Nelson Mandela to the Cheryl Hurley. And I think about you as someone with calm courage and confidence. Because as you said, we've been on this road together for a long time. So I've watched you emerge
Mm,
from your difficulties and challenges. And everyone knows difficulties and challenges don't end, they are a
mm.
cycle.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I've watched you take on some difficult
Mm,
experiences and find your way to calm, being courageous about difficult decisions
mm,
that I think helped you become a more confident woman.
mm,
And I say that because
mm,
everybody won't have the accolades of Nelson Mandela,
mhm,
But people can have the accolades of Cheryl Hurley. I mean, they could be meaning they could be just as successful in this space as I think I've seen you become. And what I think are the sacrifices here is what I've seen for you is that you had to practice a
Mm,
routine.
mm,
And this is, I think, the important point of selfish generosity. You have to practice on a daily basis a routine. And although I don't live with you,
mhm.
Reggie ain't here to, say this is what she's done. But I know that in the morning, you give to yourself, you give to your God, and you give to yourself. This I know you do
Mm,
on the regular. And if we can adopt a routine in our lives,
mm, mm.
calm,
Yeah,
courage, and confidence
yeah,
can become ours.
yeah,
And it's not just about every now and then. Every
yeah.
now and then, I'm gonna get my nails done, my hair done, my toes done, buy a new dress. That's all good and fine. But as you and I know, Cheryl,
Mhm. Yep,
it takes more than
yep.
that
Yeah, yeah.
to get to this place of courage, and confidence. It takes a daily routine. And we're going to share a few daily practices in a few moments with our audience.
Yeah, yeah, and and Pamela, before we share, I wanted just to piggyback on what you just shared and say that one of the things, and we talk about unmasking and having real talk. My sister just shared something that touches me at the very core because she talked about the word practices, and because she challenged me so many years ago when she asked me that question, that I need to say to you, thank you, because what happens is that we have to have people in our lives that love us enough to ask us those challenging, thought provoking questions. And guess what, y'all? Since we've been on this ride together, she's always asking me a thought provoking question. But that question made me really look into the importance of unpacking how do I really care for myself? And like she said, this has been a process. It wasn't something that started out this way, it was through that one pivotal question that was a
Mm,
game changer for me, because in those difficult moments that she knows of and she's seen, it's being mindful that I can pause in a moment and give to Cheryl what she needs to give to her. And it's something that has increased and it continues to increase. So we don't want you to think this is something that you're automatically born with and you have it automatically in you. It's a practice. When you get to the point that you recognize that you do matter and that you are enough, you will value the importance of these selfish generosity practices that we're going to share.
mhm,
So thank you for sharing that. I'm very humbled by that because I'm not one who goes around saying this is going on, but I have to put in practice what you said. Because otherwise we wouldn't even be hosting this show right now. Talk live, because we be bouncing off the wall somewhere. But again, it's because we want to unpack these things so that our sisters and brothers who are watching can recognize that let's have real conversations about these things. Because guess what? I want to have calm, courage, and confidence and walk in that thing 24/7, but it has to be
yeah.
a daily practice.
It
Yeah.
has to be a daily practice. And I know some of you might be thinking, well, what's the practice? What's the practice? And we're going to share that with you in a few moment because there are many practices. You don't have to do exactly what Nelson Mandela did in terms of achieving calm, courage, and confidence. You don't have to do exactly what Cheryl does. You don't have to do exactly what I do either.
Mhm.
You can decide which practices are best for you. I mean, when someone wants to really build their physical body and build their cardio capacity,
Mhm.
some may run, some may bike, some may do step. It all depends
Mhm.
on what's best for you. So Cheryl and I are going to share some practices, and you get to decide which ones or which one you want to take on for calm, courage, and confidence. And by the way, we want you to know that calm, courage, and confidence are skills that you can learn. It's not like you were born, Cheryl was born, or Mandela was born, or Oprah was born with these things. It took some work to get there, which leads us to the unmasked question.
Mhm.
Let's go to the unmasked question. For you listeners, what would you be willing to give up in order to have more calm, courage, and confidence. What would you be willing to give up in order to have more calm, courage, and confidence? Now, I would say, Cheryl, what would you be willing to give up? But I think you've already gotten there. You've already given up a lot. What did you have to give up to achieve calm, courage, and confidence?
In earlier, as you were sharing, one of the things that was important for me is to recognize that, you know, oftentimes I would put others before myself. And the first thing I had to do, in order to begin to practice is make myself a priority. Put myself, the same thing that I gave to other people, I had to learn to give to myself first.
Hmm, hmm,
Because
hmm,
you can't pour out of an empty vessel. So I could pour, 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 and during the times that I did it, I didn't realize I was depleting me. So the first thing I had to do was make myself a priority.
hmm, hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah. The first thing I had to do was let go of a relationship that was no longer serving me.
Mm, mm, yeah.
Talk about giving up some stuff, and that wasn't easy. But I knew
Mm,
that I had to do this very difficult thing in order to get to a place
yeah.
of calm, courage, and confidence. And
Mm,
in doing that,
mhm.
it initiated courage, it initiated confidence, and ultimately I got to a place of calm. So it's not going to be a walk in the park.
Say it.
Okay, this is not going to be a walk in the park to acquire calm, courage, and confidence. It's going to demand something of you. And
Yes.
you got to ask yourself, am I willing to give up what is necessary to give up in order to get the calm, courage, and confidence?
Mhm. Mhm.
Anything else come up for you before we go into the 24
I
selfish generosity
I I
practices, girl?
I think we just need to share because I think that people were coming in for the secret. They want to know what the secret is. Let's share the secret with them. The practices, rather.
Yes. So, yeah, you're right on. These are secret practices. And here's the thing, we put together 24 selfish generosity practices, and Cheryl and I are going to rapid fire them off. I'm going to kick it off with number one. And we want you to just think about which one of these practices you might be willing to take on today, and then make this a regular
Mhm.
for yourself. Okay. All right. So, number one, give yourself 7.5 hours of sleep. Cheryl, number two.
Go right into number 2.
I'm going to go into number two.
I'm having some technical difficulties.
We love the technical difficulties that show up at the wrong time.
Every
Number
time.
two, give your body, okay, water equivalent to one half your weight in ounces. So
Yeah.
if you're 200 pounds, drinking 100 ounces of water is the recommendation. Of
Yeah.
course, if you have some medical issues, talk to your doctor, but this is an important practice.
Yeah. And the third one is give your body physical exercise daily, meaning get the body moving. Pandemic, some of us became very sedentary, wasn't doing a whole lot. Give your body physical exercise every day. Every day.
Number four, give yourself permission to say no.
Mhm.
Number five, you want me to do no? You
Do
haven't
number
still
five
haven't
too.
taken.
Do number 5 too.
Number five, give yourself an exit from an abusive relationship and an entrance to a healthy relationship.
Mhm. On to
Mhm.
number 6 too.
Number six, for the technically challenged among us, give yourself an exit from a relationship that no longer serves your highest good and an entrance to relationships that empower you.
Yeah. Number 7, give your body a plant-based diet. It's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. Give your body a plant-based diet. Number 8.
Number eight, but let me just say something about number seven. For many of us who are struggling with weight and ill health, a plant based diet is going to be your blessing.
Mm.
If you adopt that, and please do a little bit of background research on it, because everything that says plant-based is
Yeah.
not necessarily healthy for you, but plant-based is a healthier
Yes.
choice than animal-based diet. And for those of you who are listening right now who are struggling with health and with weight and with skin problems, consider this to be an answer to you. Now, check with you. I'm not a physician, but check with your nutritionist, because sometimes physicians don't understand plant-based stuff. That okay? But check and consider. Okay, 8. Is it my turn?
It's your turn. 8.
Oh, okay.
I just want to tell them the soy burgers are all that. The plant-based soy, they're all that. Trust me.
So 8, give life to your dreams by putting 10% of your earnings in a personal fund.
Jesus help us.
Help
Yes.
us.
That practice right there.
Right
That
there.
one right there. 9, give yourself time to pray and meditate before you begin your day and when your day ends. It's wonderful to
10.
start it in the morning, but don't forget to do the same thing at night.
That's right. Bookend. Bookend. That's it.
Mhm.
Bookend.
Yeah.
10. Give your day a fresh start by waking and waiting rather than waking and running to the busyness of the day. Waking and waiting is waking and waiting to hear from God.
I love that. I love so
Mhm.
can I just throw a caveat in there? This
Do
morning,
it.
I had a conversation with someone, and she said something that I wrote. This thing is ingrained in my mind. She said, "We plan, but God decides." And when you just
Mm.
shared that, I'm like, "Oh, that's powerful." Go
Mm, 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 mm,
powerful.
mm.
Number 11,
Yeah.
give yourself esteem a boost by celebrating who you be rather than what you do. Can I repeat that one?
Do
Give
it.
yourself esteem a boost by celebrating who you be rather than what you do.
Mm, mm, mm.
That
Love
right
that.
there.
Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
12. Give yourself the help you need by confidently stating to others what you need. Ask for what you need, people.
She said, ask for what you need. Just go on and do it.
Just go and do it.
13, give your mood rather a boost by praising yourself. No matter
Ain't
how
nothing wrong with that.
it is, praise yourself. Learn how to encourage yourself. The song,
Yes.
learn how to encourage yourself. So praise yourself every day, your mood. Mhm.
14. Give yourself a break and forgive your mistakes.
Ooh, ooh, I can do that. We'll do 15 too.
I'll do 15. Give your relationships a breather by taking responsibility for your own happiness rather than expecting someone else to make you happy.
That right there.
Right there.
So that one right there. Pam,
Mhm.
can you speak to that one for a moment?
Yeah. So, what we tend to do in relationships is we expect the other person to make us happy. We feel like that's your job. And I understand, because when we get married or when we're engaged, the expectation is there that you're supposed to make me happy, and then we get married, you're supposed to make me happy. But you know how much of a burden that is, that my job is to make you happy? How about you
Make
make
us.
yourself happy, and then we are in relationship
Yeah,
together, having satisfied our own happiness, but then being grateful that the other is willing to try to make us happy, rather
absolutely.
than demand,
Abs- absolutely.
you must make me happy, and if you don't make me happy, then I'm unhappy. This is the problem in most relationships.
Come on.
Why most relationships come to a rapid end
Hmm.
is because of the expectation we place on the other.
Hmm.
You got to change. You got to do better. You got to focus on my happiness, because
Yeah,
that's your job. And it really is not
is it? It is not.
their job.
It is not. So
Okay.
number 16. Are y'all
You
ready?
got it.
Give your anxiety an eviction notice by healing the trauma and wounds of your early childhood. As you
Mm,
unpack it and you deal with it, evict it, that it cannot come back and continue to torment you. Oh,
And you know about trauma, Cheryl. You
you
want to
better
say a
go ahead
little bit
and talk
about the
about it.
trauma?
Yep, I certainly do. And what happens is that unless we deal with it, it's constantly being triggered and re-triggered, and we don't want to experience that. So we have to give it an eviction notice. We must. We must.
Yes, yes, yes. Number 17, give your emotions expression by getting comfortable with uncomfortable feelings
Yeah.
and nurture them as you would a sick child. And Cheryl, this reminds me of our favorite quote that we teach in our
Yes.
course, Think Again. Unexpressed emotions will never die.
Never.
They are buried alive and will come forth later
Yeah.
in uglier ways. Sigmund Freud.
That's
All
right.
right.
All right, 18. Give your future a positive chance by facing the root cause of your addiction, no matter what that addiction is. And can I just serve you notice that addictions move far beyond just drugs? Whatever
Mm.
that addiction is, we want you to give your future a positive chance by facing the root cause of it.
Ooh,
So
that's
that's
good.
18.
That's good. 19. Give your body and mind their necessary connection by doing yoga. And some of you might be like yoga. Yoga is such a beautiful way to connect the body and the mind together. And if yoga's like that's just weird, okay, then
Yeah.
stretch with some good music
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Stretch to some really beautiful music. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But go
And
for
number
yoga.
20 goes hand in hand with something that duo coach Pamela Lane shared earlier. Give authentic love a chance by finding the blocks to loving yourself
Mm,
so you don't need to demand love from others. Because see, when you
yes.
love yourself, you're not looking for it in sometimes the wrong places because you find it within.
Yes. And we teach that in our course in one of
Yes, we do.
was it
Yes,
our
we do.
bonus lesson in our
Yes,
Think Again
we do. Mhm.
course,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
love
That was just
languages.
a little plug.
Oh,
That was just a little plug about the
look,
Think Again
yes.
course.
21. Give your weaknesses value by being honest with yourself that you have them.
Yeah.
It's okay that you got some weaknesses, people.
Yeah.
Okay? It's okay.
It's okay. And 22, give calm to your mind and relaxation to your body when you feel anxious or stressed with deep breathing exercises. We want you to be
Yes.
present with yourself and allow yourself to feel what you feel so you know what to give yourself.
I
Mm,
love that.
yeah.
23. Give your life deeper meaning by investing in personal development courses. And we have a great course called Think You Don't Matter, Think You Aren't Enough, Think Again.
All right. 24. Give your happiness priority by working with an empowerment coach skilled at changing the way you look at things so the things you look at change.
Ooh, I
So we
love
just
that.
shared with you 24
20.
powerful selfish generosity practices. And we guarantee you, if you put all of them, but at least one of them into practice, your thoughts and your life will change.
That's right.
Mm.
So let's do this rapid fire 3 takeaways. We gave you 24 selfish generosity practices, and we're going to end on 3 dynamic takeaways for you. Takeaway number 1, before you can practice selfish generosity, you have to change your belief from I don't matter
Mhm.
and I am not enough to I matter and I am enough.
Yeah.
Cheryl?
And the second one is calm, courage, and confidence. They're in demand skills in relationships, friendships, and work. Since they are skills, everyone has a chance to develop them up to their game.
Yes.
Mm,
Number 3, being busy taking care of others is
mm.
not a worthy substitute for taking care of yourself.
Not at all, not at all. So as
Not at
we
all.
shared it earlier, today's raffle is a download of 24 selfish generosity practices. And what we're going to do is take a moment for our producer to pull it up on the screen because we want one of you in this room to win this raffle prize.
All righty now. Let's see.
Oh, Marquisa. Oh. Mm.
Awesome.
Congratulations, Marquisa, and I know you're going to appreciate this raffle prize, and we'll make sure that we get it to you pronto. We wanted to take this opportunity as we wrap up to thank each one of you for watching Unmasked Real Talk Live today and for posting your comments in the chat. We sincerely hope that today's show has touched your life in a positive way. If it has, we'd be deeply grateful if you would share this experience with someone else in your life. Invite them to join us for our next live talk. When they do, remember to ask them to mention in the chat that you invited them. It would be our joy to warmly welcome them with a shout out. Join our mailing list by visiting us at www.executivebeauty.net. If no one told you today,
Mm.
you matter, and
And you are enough.
see you next week. Bye.
Bye.